Hi and welcome to the first lesson in Learn Music Theory for ABRSM Grades 1 and 2. In this first lesson, we're going to start looking at how to actually write the music, because being able to write the music is going to be the first step in being able to read and understand what we're going to be playing throughout the course. So, how do we write music? Well, what you're going to see is called a staff, and we write music in the staff. So here we have 5 lines and 4 spaces, and a couple of symbols spread around, which we'll look at what those mean later on. So we have 5 lines and 4 spaces, and we write music in each line or space. So the things we're going to be writing go either on a line or on a space, but not in both at the same time. We'll see what I mean with this in a second. So the notes is what we're going to be writing, and each note is one sound that we can make with a musical instrument. So the notes go either in a line or a space, like so. So here we can see the first note that we see is a circle, is on the second line from the bottom. And I know it goes on to the first and second spaces, but the center of the note is on the line, and that's what's important. And the second note is similarly on the first line. And finally, the third note is on the second space. And notice how it reaches both lines up and below it, but it doesn't go into the line. And finally, the last note is on the 0th line, it's on an extra line that we've put there. And you will see later on that we can put extra lines below and above the 5 lines that we've got. But in particular, this one, and that is one line below our 5 lines, is really important. And as you can see, we simply add a new line and we put the note on it. So what the note sounds like, the actual sound the note represents, depends on their position on the staff. So higher up notes, the notes that go higher up on the staff, are going to be higher pitched notes, which sound higher. And lower down notes on the staff are going to sound more like a bass. They're going to sound lower. But there isn't a lot of space. And indeed, we only have 7 different notes in music, and I'm going to list them to you. We have C, which is this note that you've seen previously. It's on the extra line below our 5 lines. And this is really important because it's called the middle C, because it's in the middle of the piano. And the piano is kind of the master instrument in music, used for creating new music. So because this note is in the middle of the piano, it's called the middle C, and this is really important, and you will be asked on the music test for grade 1. So that's C. Then we have D on the very next space, which is kind of the space that's below the line. Then on the line you've got E, then F on the next space, and then G on the second line. And this one is really important as well, as we'll see very soon in the next slide, actually. Then we've got A on the next space, and finally B on the third line. And then it just keeps going on and repeating. So after the third line, in the third space, we've got C again, and then D, and then E, and then F, and so on. So we just have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. So only 7 notes. So what is the symbol that we have at the very beginning? Well, that symbol is called the clef. So the symbol at the very beginning, not the one in purple, that's the note G, but the actual symbol at the very beginning, that's called the clef. And this one is the treble clef, or G clef. And if you remember the previous slide, you'll remember that the note that's on the second line is G, and this clef, this symbol that's at the beginning, is called the treble clef, or G clef, because we kind of start drawing it around that second line. So this clef is the G, or treble clef, because we start drawing around the second line, which is G. So how do we draw this clef? Well, first of all, we go around, starting from kind of the second space, going on to the third line, like that, around the note G. Then we loop around it and go past our original start of the clef. and then go up to the top, and then through the center of our initial circle down to the bottom. And that's how we draw the G clef. So we've seen what the staff is, what notes we have in music, and where they go, and what the clef is. So we've actually seen quite a lot in this video, and now we can actually start reading and understanding the music that I'm going to be showing you. So stick with me, let's go into the next video, and we're actually going to start writing a bit of our own music. So I'll see you there.